Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Samantha Lobato, senior at CEC Middle College and our keynote speaker for this evening.
People than I thought it was going to look like. It's good because you guys look like little ants, so I can't see your faces. Good evening. My name is Samantha Lobato. I am a senior at CEC Middle College of Denver, and I have been a DPS student my entire life. I have overcome many challenges and defied odds in order to be standing on the stage tonight. I'd like to share my story with you, but before I begin, please raise your hand if any of you would be nervous to give a speech to 1,200 people. Wow, that's a lot of you. I'm nervous too. When I think about giving a speech, my heart starts jumping out of my chest. So it's a good thing my intention for this evening is not to give a speech. It is to make a connection with each and every one of you. All of my life, people define this as a disability. Let me tell you what it really is. I was born 2 months premature, only weighing 3 pounds, 4 ounces. The first hours of my life were spent going through a major surgery to amputate my right arm. When I was 5 years old, I spent a lot of time at the doctor's office trying on prosthesis after prosthesis. I was completely overwhelmed, frustrated, and confused with the entire process. Let me be honest, I hated it. Because at my school, I was the only one who had to wear one. From then on, I couldn't help but notice how different I really was. In art class, my hand turkey during Thanksgiving didn't look like everyone else's. In music, I couldn't play the recorder with 2 hands. And in gym, trying to go across those dang monkey bars might as well have been a trip to Mars. Thank goodness I'm not a monkey. In 3rd grade, I had a particularly inspiring teacher named Mrs. Diaz. She saw that I was struggling with my confidence. Mrs. Diaz introduced me to her sister, who knew exactly what I was going through. Like me, she only had 1 arm. The day I met her, she told me, disability is physical, ability is in the mind. I had a breakthrough. It changed my life, and her words from 3rd grade have never left me. I was also inspired by Mrs. Diaz, who realized that the most important lesson that she could share with me would be one I will learn outside the classroom. Later on, in 7th grade, I had another breakthrough. In science class, Mrs. Benedict came up to me with this huge stack of papers to hand out. Now, she was the first teacher who have ever asked me to hand out papers, so naturally I gave her the, "What am I supposed to do with this?" face. She smiled, put the papers on my desk, and walked away. Miss Benedict knows that I can do whatever I put my mind to. So she constantly pushed me past my limits and took me out of my comfort zone. I figured out a way to hand out those papers that day. Now, Miss Benedict, I know you're out here in the audience tonight, so please stand up. Way, yeah, there she goes. I would like to thank you in front of all of these people for that unforgettable lesson. You have been there for me, even past middle school, and supported me in my decision for college, and you're a very special woman in my life. I decided to join the soccer team in 6th grade. Mrs. Cianes and Mr. Stewart were my coaches. They always held the bar high for me when it came to playing soccer and pushing myself. They taught me the value of teamwork, camaraderie, and sportsmanship, all important elements in my development as a person. And I couldn't imagine my middle school years without this experience. I accompanied my younger sister to her soccer practice at Centennial, the very same field I played in when I was in middle school. In fact, she has the same exact coaches as I. And seeing those coaches teach a whole new generation of people helped me realize on how important that experience was for me. Another breakthrough I experienced in DPS was learning to speak and perform in front of a crowd. You didn't think this was my first rodeo, did you? My DPS performance culminated when I participated in the annual DPS Shakespeare Festival from 3rd to 6th grade. I was Beatrice in Much Ado About Nothing, Olivia in Twelfth Night, and Witch Number 3 in Macbeth. Having exposure to the performing arts allowed me to gain a new confidence with public speaking and the skills to work a crowd. In the 9th grade, I had yet another incredible opportunity that led to a breakthrough for me. I was one of the members of the DPS School Board core team at my school. Once a year, all of the schools come together to share their projects. And at this event, I was introduced to Project Voice. The mission and youth-led work at Project Voice amazed me. And since that time, I have become a Project Voice leader and Project Voice trainer, working every day for the past 3 years to improve our schools. My breakthrough at Project Voice helped me realize that my education isn't just about me. My education should be about the success of everyone. This cool collaboration with DPS and PV shows that we could do so much more to help students when we bring in community partners. When people talk about statistics, they sometimes forget who those statistics represent. They represent children. They represent my brothers and sisters, my family members, my peers. I've overcome a lot of statistics in my life. I was born to teenage parents. I was premature. I am Hispanic female. And if I were to believe all the statistics against me, then I would not be standing in front of you today. As one of my mentor, Craig Dawkins, always says, we need to live in the solution, not the problem. If you tell a student enough times, the odds are against you, the odds are against you, eventually, they're going to believe you. Instead, I challenge you all to become a part of the solution. You are here tonight, and that's a great start. And yet, like me, we need to create a breakthrough now. It doesn't take a miracle to overcome the odds. I'm living proof of that. For me, overcoming the odds was as simple as inspirational teachers like Miss Benedict, Miss Diaz, Mrs. Yanez, and Mr. Stewart. A stack of papers, a soccer ball, Shakespeare, community partners, and a community that believes in me and provided these opportunities for me every single day of my 12 years in Denver Public Schools. Well, I guess that's not that simple, but it's not rocket science either. The things that provided my breakthroughs happen one moment and one person at a time. There are 1,200 breakthroughs in this room this evening. We are all here tonight because education is important to us. I am here on the stage because at 17 years old, I know that great schools and great teachers don't just teach us the 3 R's. They transform our lives. I am here because I have dedicated my life to the education of my brothers and sisters, to the education of my peers. I wouldn't have made that decision without DPS. I've decided to dedicate my life to the education of your children and your grandchildren. In exactly 27 days, I will be the first person in my family to graduate from high school. And on Saturday, I found out that I was a Daniel Scholar. So come next fall, I will be a freshman at the University of Denver. I plan to major in math and chemistry and minor in secondary education. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. In just a few years, I will be back in Denver teaching the next generation of DPS students. But wait, I won't stop there. Ultimately, I plan to be the Secretary of Education. Helping shape policy and creating opportunities for every child in America. It's a big goal, right? But thanks to an entire community of people who believe in me, I know that it's within reach. All of my life, people define this as a disability. DPS helped me realize that this is my teachable moment. That realization lit a fire in me. How can we turn tonight into a teachable moment? How can we make this moment into a breakthrough? Bottom line, we need you. We need you to meet us and share your abilities with us, because then all of our abilities will grow. We need a breakthrough so that Denver Public Schools can be the best urban school district in the United States. Thank you. Thank you.